now coming down here, Barnesville way up in the kind of eastern central part of the state. They're coming all the way down here to Ed Miller Stadium. What a picturesque venue, by the way. We talk about it every time we're here, but it is gorgeous. The hill will be full. There's going to be plenty of Berg fans up there in the stands. It's going to be an amazing day. We're also going to hear from the head coach of that's going to be just a few minutes here. Rusty Richards, had the chance to catch up with him on the Athens County Coach Show this week, which, by the way, was awesome. Our best attended show of the year over at the Gem Sports Bar. Those NY fans showed up, and I told Rusty, I said, look, if you guys get it done against Columbus Academy, we're going to have a lot of fun. We'll see if it'll be Monday or Tuesday. We're still working on that. That is all a contingency. Obviously, Bobcat football on Tuesday, so that may change the plans a little bit. But whatever it is, if they win this game, it could set up a monster clash against the winner of this game for a region that obviously has been very affected by what happened down in Ironton and the gap that is filled. And obviously Wheelersburg will say, well, we beat them anyway. So, we felt like we would have had a shot no matter what. But for some of the other teams this region, it feel like, again, especially I think about Nelsonville York a lot as well, where they feel like they have a real shot to win this region for the first time since 2017, which, by the way, was the last time they entered a postseason unbeaten.
Yeah, I mean, you got to flash back to, week 6 in this stadium. The last time Ironton looked human and beatable, it was because of this Wheelersburg team, and particularly because of the defense. And now you fast forward to a playoff, landscape that doesn't include the Ironton Fighting Tigers, and it feels like a winnable landscape for everybody. At least that's what 4 coaches in this region are telling their teams tonight. Again, what an opportunity. We're going to see one of the better games in Southern Ohio tonight here in just a couple of hours kick off. It's going to be great, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Big game coming up here. Let's go through the rest of the regions real quick, take you through the matchups we've got our eye on this evening. We're down to, I believe, 6 regions tonight, down from 9, and we did lose a few teams last week, so we've shrunk it down. We'll start off in Region 11, which we do have our eyes on. Bishop Watterson, one of the best teams, not just in the region, but in the state. They're going to look to try and continue that road to their second straight state championship. They're facing off against Tri-Valley. I want to talk about that game. We'll talk about it later. Really intriguing matchup there. Steubenville is taking on Licking Valley as well. What a finish last week for the Panthers of Licking Valley. To pull that one out against Bloom Carroll was a special finish down there. Randy Ballman still doing it. I mean, what's it, 4 decades, 5 decades? He's been doing it a whole lot longer than I've been on this earth, and he will probably be doing it for as long as he wants. He is an unbelievable coach. I mean, they've named almost everything in Licking Valley after him already. He's earned that honor. And he continued to write another fantastic win in the legacy there. Big test for them as well against Steubenville at home. Great program for the Big Red, always consistently up in the top of this region as well. Let's go over to Region 12 and let's go to the Jackson Ironmen. Big time matchup on the road against the London Red Raiders. I'll let you kind of talk here about what's going on. Obviously, we know what happened with Coach Hall last week. I don't know what exactly we want to talk about, but just in terms of what you can say about what how much better Coach Hall is feeling, because all I've heard are great things.
Yeah, good things, since last Friday, and obviously the scare that was in Alumni Stadium. Coach Hall was at practice. He was at practice as early as Monday this week.
Shouldn't expect anything
else. I mean, what do you do if he's on 2 legs and he's breathing air in his lungs? He's going to be in Alumni Stadium in November if he's got the opportunity. And big task for his team tonight, but he might be up in the box or something different. Could be a change of pace for the Ironmen there. Could be the first time we've seen Coach Hall in the box. But all things considered, great news for Ironman fans. Yes. Coach Hall should be in attendance tonight.
Yeah, always great to hear. And they'll need his expertise as well against a great London squad who also had to pull it out last week against Archbishop McNichols. They had a game winner right at the bell, and then Archbishop McNichols had a chance to go back down the field and tie the game late, blocked the field goal to tie the game. Just an unreal finish out there. So Jackson's getting out it all to do tonight. The other matchup in there is Baden taking on Tippecanoe, 2 really good schools with plenty of high-power prospects on both sides of the ball. Let's go down to Region 15. We've got Unioto at New Lexington. This game is really fun. 2 very intriguing offenses that contrast each other really well, I think. New Lexington's been very good on both sides of the ball. One of the most consistent teams in that region as well. They've got the 10 wins already on the year, and we'll see how they can fare. Luke Ratliff's the name to know for the Panthers. We'll talk a little bit more about that matchup later on. And then Jonathan Alder is at Grady Kinsey Town, Indian Valley, who they continue to try and defend their state championship as they will look to. Wasn't it interesting last year that the championship from 3, 4, and 5, the state title came from the Southeast region? Even though Indian Valley is a little bit more north, and Bishop Watterson obviously is in Columbus, but obviously Ironton getting that title in Division Well, a little interesting tidbit there. Obviously, we mentioned Region 19. We won't touch on this too much from now, but we'll go in depth on both of these games later on. Barnesville taking on Wheelersburg. Great matchup that we're going to see here at Ed Miller Stadium in just about an hour and a half's time, or 2 hours, I should say. And then in Gahanna, actually, Columbus Academy taking on Nelsonville York. Buckeyes put their unbeaten season on the line on the road. Let's go down to Region 23. A couple of really intriguing matchups here. Colonel Crawford is on the road at Centerburg. I couldn't believe when I did my research for this game that these two teams never seen each other, just because of the...
That is interesting.
Because I figured with the proximity and with... Yeah. I think it might be because of some of the sizing things and the division changes, they may not have seen each other, but that was always intriguing to me. Two very good teams who were always consistently at the top of whatever region they're put in. Yeah. And then these two teams are familiar with each other, these next two. West Jefferson is at Fort Friday night. We saw a classic a couple years ago in the postseason. West Jefferson's got a high-flying passing attack at Fort Fry. Slow that down. We'll discuss that later. Then in Region 27, you got Sims Valley taking on Hillsdale. Sims Valley got that big win last week over Trimble. Hillsdale is a much different beast. We'll see if they can cope with what the Falcons have to offer on the road. And then the reigning champs of this region are still alive, and it's the Danville Blue Devils. They're on the road tonight at the Waterford Wildcats. The quarterback change for Waterford. How much will that affect things? We're going to discuss that as well.
It's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, you went through. I mean, that's a lot of football. It's a lot of Southeast Ohio football still in action. Week 13, approaching Thanksgiving. There was snow on the ground this week, Sarge.
There was.
And we're still talking football, man. It doesn't get any better than this.
Give me one or two games you were really intrigued about real quick before we head to our first break.
I love that West Jeff Fort Fry game. Two clashing styles. I love West Jeff's high-flying offense. It's a little out of our radar, but go ahead and give me that one tonight. We're standing here, so I'll leave this one out of it. And honestly, Jackson's going on the road. They got a lot of things going against them, but I'm really intrigued by that. Might be some bias, but I'm really intrigued by the Ironmen taking on the Red
That game's going to be fun. They have to. We'll get deeper into that because I have some big keys for the Ironmen for this game because there are a couple boxes they have to check if they want to win that game. Yes. There are a couple of very big boxes that must be filled or they will not win on the road at London. Obviously, we're still. I love that we're still at stadiums this week of home teams.
Nice.
I'm a big fan of that change. Nice. That's from last year with the new postseason structuring, regional semis. I like the fact that we are at home stadiums. We could get to regionals next week where we have finals, and I think that absolutely host those at neutral sites. I love that regional semis are in home stadiums. Gives crowds and opportunities for fans to get in their home stadium once again. I know this community is going to show out. Don't have to ask them, but a lot of these other communities as well. I think about Fort Fry. That's going to be a fantastically well-attended game down there against West Jefferson. Yeah. It's a great opportunity for some of these schools.
Yeah, it's a huge opportunity, for everybody. I mean, this is exactly what you play your season for. You've got your goals during the regular season, but this time of year, anything can happen in this time of year. We're going to see 7 rematches across the state tonight, too. I'm excited about that aspect of things.
Yeah, some really good games, not just in Southeast Ohio, but across the state as well. We're going to step aside for the first time here on Football Friday Kickoff. When we come back, we're going to discuss some of these big games, and we're going to hear from the head coach of the Buckeyes, Rusty Richards, from this past week's Athens County Coaches Show. We'll step aside. You're listening to Football Friday Kickoff.
Learn to drive with confidence at Legacy Driver In-Person Training School in Jackson, Ohio. Teen or adult lessons, we have you covered. Call 740-418-0930 for all your driving school needs today.
Willis Advantage Property Solutions delivers dependable, full-service property maintenance you can trust. We specialize in asphalt repair, infrared patching, surface cleaning, parking lot striping, and powerful hydrojet drain cleaning, serving industrial, commercial, and residential customers across the region. From small fixes to large-scale projects, we get the job done right, on time, and on budget. Call now for your free consultation at 740-577-4574. Willis Advantage Property Solutions. We protect and maintain what matters.
Top Tier Customs in Jackson is your local destination for bold builds and custom styles. From lift kits and lighting to wheels, winches, and more, we do it all with expert care. Bring your truck, Jeep, or SUV in today and leave with a ride that truly stands out.
It takes determination to create a successful business. It's never easy, but always worth it. It takes making a leap of faith. It takes patience and late nights to reinvest in a startup. But it also takes asking for guidance from dependable people. All to turn a dream into a reality. People's Bank. Working together, building success.
Welcome back to Football Friday Kickoff. We're continuing to gear up around the Southeast Ohio area. Some big-time games coming from everywhere around the region. And we're going to start off out in London for the matchup between the Ironmen of Jackson and the Red Raiders of London. Let's real quick rewind because both of these teams had unbelievable finishes last week. We'll start off with London. They were down late in this game to Archbishop McNichols, who we said was a very underseeded. They were a very good football team, probably a little low in terms of the seeding. So here was the report from the London reporters that were at this game. Quarterback Blake Ray led a poised final drive, clutch touchdown pass to Brody Neal with just 38 seconds remaining. Does that sound familiar, Jackson fans?
Interesting.
That put London back on top, 17-14. Drama wasn't done there, though. McNichols was able to get into field goal range on the ensuing drive, but the defense was able to block that kick and send London fans home happy. And then, of course, on the other side for Jackson, pretty similar story, except Jackson gets the ball. Bodie Wolford instead is the man leading the poised final drive, and with about 35 seconds to go, there's Ryan Simetz in the back of the end zone for one of the plays that, like we talked about on Football Friday Night last week, could be etched into Jackson folklore for a very long time.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the biggest plays, but also one of the biggest performances. I mean, how about Simetz to do
focused on big time here this week. First off, on Tuesday, had the chance to catch up with Rusty and a bunch of Buckeyes, by the way. Had the chance to talk with Walker Stone, Caleb Layton, a couple of the other great players on this Buckeyes squad. Really good company. Always a great time at the Gem Sports Bar. But I had the chance to catch up with Rusty real quick. A little bit of perspective from that win over Union Local, and then some big points on what they're looking for in this matchup against Columbus Academy. We'll send it there.
gonna do the same for this background. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're gonna create this event flyer design in Photoshop, and then we're gonna animate it in After Effects. It's gonna be a very simple effect on this stroke. You can always add a saber effect, and that's very
Breathe it in. This Thanksgiving, Zootopia ain't just a mammal city.
In this tutorial, I'll show you how to create smooth camera movements in After Effects. Begin by adding footage to the timeline, then make it 3D by checking this icon. Then go up to Layer, New Camera. Click OK. After adding the camera, 3 camera tools will be added to the tools bar, and in order to navigate through them, we can hold down the Alt key, then the left mouse button will become the first camera tool that allows you to rotate the camera, pressing down the scroll wheel will activate the second camera tool that allows you to pan the camera, and the right mouse button will become the third camera tool that allows
both his arms and his legs. I talked to him on Tuesday as well. And the big thing that he said is, look, I've been healthier this year. I've been more confident this year. I have a ton of confidence in the players around me. And all of that leads to successful offense for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, I mean, when Cam Sullivan's playing at the level that he's played out all year, yeah, it's easy for your offense to be lights out, especially when you got a three-headed monster in the backfield. Two other guys you could turn around and hand it to any given time, and you're going to be successful. I think this is going to be the best team that Nelsonville York has played this year in Columbus Academy. Yep. The edge rusher you mentioned, Ronaldo Perez, 6'5", 245. He does have an offer from Ohio State at this point.
He's a freak. I mean, there is some crazy stuff on the film for him.
Yeah, he's a sixth-ranked player in Ohio, 225 in the nation, 27th defensive lineman across the country. Very physical player. You got to account for him. That's going to have to be something that Rusty Richards and Nelsonville York figure out. But yeah, you could hand them the script, hand them the playbook. Everyone knows what you want to do.
There's the picture from Tad. They're up on the box. They're getting ready to go. Looks beautiful little picturesque stadium right there.
A nice scene in the city
very nice
tonight.
Scene. Gorgeous weather. Couldn't ask for much better than that. But yeah, Perez and Day Lewis are two different beasts on defense that NY has not seen from Athens, from anybody this season. So how that, and then on the other side of the ball, let's get to that, because NY's defense has been lights out this year, and from the rumblings that I've heard, look, you've got a great edge rusher on one side of Perez, but Caleb Layton is a different animal too. This guy has 50 tackles for loss, 16 sacks on the year. He is stuffing the stat sheet, and he causes headaches for coordinators. Every coach I've talked to about Caleb Layton has said, look, he is that silent babyface killer, right? They don't call him Smiles because, he is smiling all day, but he's smiling as he laughs at your quarterback in the dirt after yet another sack. Yeah,
he flips a switch on Friday night when he puts that helmet on. He's one of 6 guys on this defense that have 10 or more TFLs on the year, tackle for a loss, and he's the guy that spearheads the whole thing. You said it, 50 tackles for a loss. It's video game numbers. Good luck if you can put that up in a 5-minute quarter on varsity mode, my friends. Anyway, said all that to say this. He can flat out play. He's a dog. In Nelsonville York, again, this is the most tested they're going to be all season long on both sides of the football. It will be interesting to see, though, how Columbus Academy, because they like to throw the ball, how they account for Caleb Layton. He's been so disruptive all year long. Got to get disruption
in the backfield. They've got some athletes on the outside, Columbus Academy. Different threat on the outside with those receivers, some of those corners, Walker Stone, some of those guys that are big on the offense. Stone, Thompson, Gaudier all play defensive back as well. So big days and important moments for them. So big thing, let's switch gears over to the matchup between Wheelersburg and Barnesville.
Yes, sir, I think
the big thing with this game, and what I look at here, before we're going to hear from the coaches here in just a second, but the big thing with this matchup is, number one is the history, right? Which is the fact that these two teams have faced off each other the last 3 years. Wheelersburg's won all 3 of those games. And number two is the transitions that both of these teams have undergone over the last couple of years, because both of these teams have had great players come and go, and they both, I think, might have gotten better than last year. Especially Wheelersburg.
Yeah, I mean, let's look across the field, though, at Barnesville. You mentioned a guy replacing a player from a year ago. Cole Francis steps in at ball, man. They've allowed 75 rushing yards in the past 4 games. What do you want me to say? I mean, good luck. Good luck, Barnesville.
I will say with that fact is Trey Tolliver will be the man to try and stop that. Let me tell you, if there are somebody capable of doing it, Trey Tolliver is capable of doing it. He is somebody who averages just about 130 yards a game. He's a junior coming in this year, and he's grown up a lot over the course of the year. But for more perspective on what you're going to see from Barnesville, we've got the head coach, Blake Allen, here. I had the chance to sit down with him earlier this week and discuss some of the matchups and some of the big things that are coming into this game. Then we're going to hit to a break, and then right after that, you're going to hear from Rob, the head coach of the Wheelersburg Pirates. We'll step aside, listen to Coach Allen here. You're listening to Football Friday Kickoff.
It takes determination to create a successful business. It's never easy,
Welcome back to Ed Miller Stadium, folks. Sorry about the slight technical issue we had there, but we hopefully should be coming back to you now. Got to rip through these legal IDs real quick as we missed some of them there while we were dealing with that tech issue. 96.7 WKOV FM, Oak Hill, Jackson, Wellston, and MacArthur. 97.5 WVNU FM, Greenfield, Washington Courthouse, and Hillsborough. 99.5 WBYG FM, Point Pleasant and Gallipolis. 100.9 WXIZ HD1, Waverly, Chillicothe, and Circleville. 101.3 WAGX FM, Manchester, Maysville, Georgetown, Mount Orab, West Union. 105.5 WXDQ FM, Athens, Logan, and Nelsonville. 106.7 WIRO FM, Ironton, Ashland, Portsmouth, Huntington, and Wheelersburg. 92.1 WYVK FM, Middleport, Pomeroy, and Mason. 970 AM and 97.3 FM, WATH, Athens. And finally, 1260 AM and 95.7 FM, WNXT, Portsmouth. Let's get back to the football. Let's jump right into the picks. And let's just, we've got about 20 or so minutes left with you here. We can take our time a little bit more with these picks now since we've got less games to go through. So let's start out at Region 11 and let's just kind of go through game by game. We'll start out with Watterson versus Tri-Valley. There's a great player on each offensive side that I want to highlight here is you can hear the Pirates come on the field and the Milk Jugs. They're out. And they are out in their forces. The Wheelersburg faithful, as they always do, showing up for their Pirates. Watterson's got a quarterback by the name of Drew Belisari, who is the district offensive player of the year in his region. 1,500 pass yards and 500 rush yards, as well as 30 total touchdowns in the regular season. Watterson hasn't played a game closer than 30 points since week 2. They've been smoking everybody they've played. But for Tri-Valley, the name to know and the guy that's going to drag them to victory tonight is Levi Wade. This guy is a stud. He's got over 2,000 rushing yards on the year for the Scotties.
Unstoppable force, immovable object, they call these situations. Sarge, he's a stud sophomore in the backfield. He's got 2,000 yards on the year, as you mentioned last week. He ran for 312 and 4 touchdowns. He's got to have himself a career high if the Bishop Watterson Eagles are going to go down at the hands of a 2,000-yard rusher for the Scotties. Scotties got their work cut out for him in this game until proven, right? Until proven. Yeah. You lean towards Bishop Watterson in this game, but Levi Wade gives you a fighter's chance.
Levi Wade absolutely gives you a shot, but I just think the Eagles have a little bit too much for Tri-Valley tonight. Steubenville-Licking Valley is a great game. By the way, these head coaches have been coaching for a combined 87 years, and they have over 850 wins combined between the two of them. Coach Bauman at Licking Valley and Coach Sakachia over at Steubenville. I may be butchering that pronunciation. I know a lot of people get that one wrong. But two legendary head coaches, two great teams. Who comes out on top?
You know what? Everything in my gut's telling me the Panthers, but there's something about that big red and that tradition, especially in the playoffs, that's got me geared up. I'm going to roll with Steubenville to get it done in upset fashion this weekend.
I'm going Steubenville as well. These teams have played 3 times. All of them have been in the postseason. In 2005, it was the state championship game. Steubenville's had a little bit of a wonky road to get here. They had they had a loss to Ursuline, who of course had their season canceled due to some off-the-field stuff. Their other loss was to Indian Hill. And then the guy to know for them is Santino Haney. He's a guy who is phenomenal on the basketball court for them. He's a stud on the football field as well. He's their quarterback. They've got a running back, Kawan Bryant, who is somebody we talked about last year when Steubenville played Athens in the postseason. He's still lethal as well. And then I'm going to go with Steubenville. Keep an eye on Griffin Williams on the other side of Licking Valley. 2 interceptions, including the key one in overtime last week against Bloom Carroll. Let's step aside here as we try to get our breaks back on track after that tech issue. We'll come back and we'll get the rest game pick for you. Of course, we'll save the last one for our game of the week here between Wheelersburg and Barnesville. You're listening to Football Friday Kickoff.
It takes determination to create a successful business. It's never easy, but always worth it. It takes making a leap of faith. It takes patience and late nights to reinvest in a startup. But it also takes asking for guidance from dependable people. All to turn a dream into a reality. People's Bank, working together, building success.
Looking for quality auto parts that you can trust? Well, head to Bobst Auto Parts and Salvage, serving the community since 1978. From hard-to-find used parts to new components, Bobst has everything that you need to keep your ride running right.
Buying or selling, let Brewster Real Estate and Auction in Waverly guide your next move. Trusted auctions, proven results. Visit brewsterauctions.com for listings and info. Legal challenges? Chase Brown Law provides dedicated, personalized legal services to guide you through. Chase Brown Law, your advocate for justice and peace of mind.
Cox Burkett Funeral Home in Beaver offers compassionate, dignified services when you need them most. We provide full burial and cremation options, pre-planning, and personalized memorials, all delivered with genuine care and local support for your family.
Looking to take your business to the next level? Diversion Technology in Piketon, Ohio is your hometown.
Learn to drive with confidence at Legacy Driver in-person training school in Jackson, Ohio. Teen or adult lessons, we have you covered. Call 740-418-0930 for all your driving school needs today.
Willis Advantage Property Solutions delivers dependable, full-service property maintenance you can trust. We specialize in asphalt repair, infrared patching, surface cleaning, parking lot striping, and powerful hydrojet drain cleaning, serving industrial, commercial, and residential customers across the region. From small fixes to large-scale projects, we get the job done right, on time and on budget. Call now for your free consultation at 740-577-4574. Willis Advantage Property Solutions. We protect and maintain what matters.
Top Tier Customs in Jackson is your local destination for bold builds and custom styles. From lift kits and lighting to wheels, winches, and more, we do it all with expert care. Bring your truck, Jeep, or SUV in today and leave with a ride that truly stands out.
It takes determination to create a successful business. It's never easy, but always worth it. It takes making a leap of faith. It takes patience and late nights to reinvest in a startup. But it also takes asking for guidance from dependable people, all to turn a dream into a reality. People's Bank, working together, building success.
All right, let's keep churning through these picks here on Football Friday Kickoff. Let's go to Region 12. The Ironmen got it all to do tonight against the London Red Raiders.
Man, it pains me, man. It pains me. They've been through so much in the past week. It's been such a great year for the Jackson Ironmen. But I hate to pick football with my eyes instead of my heart, Sarge. I think the Red Raiders get it done over the Ironmen. Been too much, too emotional.
It's going to be a tough matchup. I just love what London's able to do on both sides of the ball, especially defensively. I think they're going to be able to stifle Jackson tonight. I hope that I'm wrong.
Go Big Red for what it's worth.
Wrong,
Go Big Red, baby.
I do think London gets it done tonight. In the other matchup in that region, Baden taking on Tip City.
I like this. This is a rematch from earlier in the year. Baden got it done Tip City got it done. I will roll with Tip City. I'm sorry, not a rematch from earlier in the year. Different game. Tip City's going to be done over Baden.
It is a rematch of a regional final from a couple of years ago, which Tip City won by 3 points. I think this one goes the other way. I got the Rams tonight in this matchup. Let's go down to Region 15. Unioto taking on New Lexington.
Big task for Unioto tonight, taking on the Panthers. I'm going to roll with the Panthers. I like their balance. They do some really good things. They're stingy on defense.
Yeah, we mentioned this last week. Jackson Zickafu's dealing with something. Not sure if he's a go tonight. And then for New Lexington, the name to know is Paul Stenson. Running backs got over 1,000 yards on the ground. Luke Ratliff, the junior quarterback's got over 1,000 yards in the air. They have a lot of great balance. They've got a stingy defense that forces a lot of turnovers. That is not a good mix for me for Unioto. I think that New Lex gets it done tonight. Then over in the other matchup, can Jonathan Alder slow down Grady Kinsey? Is it even possible?
I don't know that it is. I mean, he turn around, hand it off to him 20 times. Your odds are good. I'll roll with the Braves tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Indian Valley as well. I don't think their state championship defense ends before next week. Could be a huge matchup set up against New Lexington that's kind of been building almost all year long. Let's go to Region 19. We're going to save this one for last, of course.
Yeah.
But let's go up north to Columbus to Gahanna, where Columbus Academy is facing off against Nelsonville York. The Buckeyes are unbeaten. Does that end tonight?
It is going to be a little bit of an upset, I think, if Nelsonville York gets it done against a star-studded roster in the Vikings, but I'll take the Buckeyes to get it done on the road. I like the mentality Rusty Richards squad's playing with.
You got Davis Ray, you've got Perez, both of those guys play all on Saturdays here in the near future. I think the Buckeyes have a couple guys that are going to be playing on Saturdays too, including Caleb Layton. I think he's the difference tonight. I think the Buckeyes win in a nail-biter. Touchdown in the last 2 minutes wins this game. I think the Buckeyes get it done. on the road and set up a monster regional final against whoever comes out on top in this one. Let's go down to Region 23. Colonel Crawford's taking on Centerburg first.
You know what? I like Centerburg in this football game. Colonel Crawford's always got a chance. They play good football, but I'll roll with the
Trojans as well. They've got a great quarterback who is a threat with both the arms and the legs. I'm going to roll with the Trojans as well. Let's go to region. Let's stick with this region. I purposely left a little bit of extra time for this game specifically.
I'm glad you
West
did.
Jefferson versus Fort Fry. West Jeff's won both of the matchups that these two teams have played. They've both been in the postseason. The high-flying passing attack causes nightmares for a lot of teams in and around this area. Austin Busher is the quarterback for the Rough Riders, and these stats are ridiculous. These sound like NFL quarterback stats. 246 completions on 372 attempts. That's 66.1% of his passes completed. 3,370 yards. That's sixth best in the state of Ohio. 30 touchdowns and just 2 interceptions. They've got 7 receivers that have more than 100 yards. 6 of those receivers have 300 or more yards. Jackson Beatty leads the way. 57 catches, 949 yards, and 8 scores. This offense is so tough to stop. They will spread you out. They will line up 3, 4, 5 wide even at times.
Yeah.
This is a nightmare for especially a Southeast Ohio defense, which is used to that ground and pound, wear you down offense, to have to switch. And we saw it last year with, we saw it 2 years ago with this specific match. We saw it last year with Trimble taking on Connaughton Valley, who had that high-flying passing attack. And we saw it last week with Trimble taking on Sims Valley, who were from Southeast Ohio, but they have that high-flying passing attack. It can be an Achilles heel.
There's an old saying Jim Reynolds used to say, you got to get to the playoffs, you have to run the ball. To stay in the playoffs, you have to be able to throw the ball. Sean Bisher, Alston Bisher's dad, is one of the most prolific passing coaches in the state up there for the Rough Riders. He's a real threat back there. He's the difference in this whole region in my eyes. I like the Rough Riders to get it done tonight versus the Cadets.
See, I like the Rough Riders too, but I think this is going to be a nail-biter of a football game because I think the Fort Fry can slow them down, and I think the big key in this game is time of possession because what Fort Fry will want is those long, sustained 10, 12, 14 drives that go 70, 80 yards. You want them to end in 6 if you're the Cadets, and you want to hold the ball. You want to be able to not let that high-powered offense. The best form of defense football is offense.
That's what they say.
Let them be on the field. So I'm going with Fort Fry in this one. Or excuse me, I'm going with West Jeff in this one as well. But I think it's going to be tight. Fort Fry's got a real shot. I think the secondary will be tested more than they've been all year, but I think that they've got a real shot tonight. Let's go to Region 27 real quick. Couple of games here. Just mentioned Sims Valley. They're still alive. They're taking on the 1 seed Hillsdale Falcons.
Hillsdale led by Hayden McFadden. 39 career touchdown receptions. If he gets one tonight, he'll be one of 16 players in OHSA history record books to reel in 40 in his career. So huge honor if he could do it. I like Hillsdale to win this football game. It's their 10th straight trip to the playoffs. I'll roll with the Falcons.
I like Hillsdale in this one as well. Sims Valley, great season for them. I think the future is very bright for the Vikings. They've got Bronx Carpenter 2 more years. I really like what I'm going to see for them over the next couple years. I still think it's a little bit too early for them to get to the top of this region. I think Hillsdale gets it done tonight. Finally, our second to last pick here, Danville is taking on Waterford, the defending regional champs in Danville. They've got some really interesting talent. How about Parker Proper, their freshman quarterback, who's played a little bit. They've kind of had 2 quarterbacks that have played a decent amount of snaps. Proper's played a little bit more. He's got 64% completion rate, 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. Note that. But the name to note in the backfield is Siren Wallace. He's got 139 carries for 1,258 yards and 14 scores. And then Wesley Payne on the backside, 4 interceptions for that Blue Devil squad.
You know what? And this has been the Blue Devils' kind of MO in the region in the playoffs, and they've got a tall task in Waterford tonight. Siren Wallace is probably going to be the difference in this football game. I will take Danville to go into Waterford and upset the Wildcats.
See, you can call that. It is sort of an upset, I would say. I mean, Danville's 5 losses this year are to Utica, Mount Gilead, Northmore, Centerburg, and Frederickstown.
Yeah,
we mentioned Centerburg earlier. Mount Gilead was in the playoffs last week. Frederickstown has had good runs. Northmore's always a contender, and Utica was a much bigger school. So those are a really high caliber loss. However, the thing with Waterford, I mentioned this earlier, they made a quarterback change about week 8 of the year. They brought in Pop Meyer to come in and take Hayden Jones' place. And I don't want to say take because I think that's the wrong way of kind of framing it. It's more reshape what they wanted Hayden Jones to do because they want him with the ball in his hands outside of the backfield. They want him to be able to create because he is 9 times out of 10 the best athlete on the field when he's playing. So get him the ball in space is the goal. I think Waterford get it done tonight because they get the ball to Hayden Jones with opportunity, with space, and I think they get it done because of that. We're going to step aside one final time here on Football Friday Kickoff. We've got our final pick. Maybe Eric's going to make a climb up there to the lookout point.
We pick it from the lookout. Might have to. I don't know. We'll
it's
see
a
what we can do.
possibility. Berg taking on Barnesville. We'll talk about it, preview it, and break it down next. You're listening to Football Friday Kickoff.
Willis Advantage Property Solutions delivers dependable, full-service property maintenance you can trust. We specialize in asphalt repair, infrared patching, surface cleaning, parking lot striping, and powerful hydrojet drain cleaning, serving industrial, commercial, and residential customers across the region. From small fixes to large-scale projects, we get the job done right, on time and on budget. Call now for your free consultation at 740-577-4574. Willis Advantage Property Solutions. We protect and maintain what matters.
Top Tier Customs in Jackson is your local destination for bold builds and custom styles. From lift kits and lighting to wheels, winches, and more, we do it all with expert care. Bring your truck, Jeep, or SUV in today and leave with a ride that truly stands out.
It takes determination to create a successful business. It's never easy, but always worth it. It takes making a leap of faith. It takes patience and late nights to reinvest in a startup. But it also takes asking for guidance from dependable people, all to turn a dream into a reality. People's Bank, working together, building success.
Well, you might have noticed I lost my partner. I'll get to that in a second. Let's talk a little bit about this matchup between Barnesville and Wheelersburg. I'll break it down for you before I reveal where Mr. Landrum has gone off to. The big things for this game is when you look at Wheelersburg and you look at their stats and their roster, there's no superstar. There's no 2,000-yard rusher. There's no 3,000-yard passer. But this team is so much greater than the sum of its parts. And I think it's the biggest reason why Wheelersburg has been so successful this year, because they pummel teams into the ground. And you know why they don't have guys that don't have these crazy stats? Because guess what? The starters ain't playing after halftime when they're up 35, 40 points. So that's the key for Wheelersburg. For Barnesville, they need to get their star going. Their star is Trey Tolliver in the backfield. He is quick. He has that perfect blend of speed and strength that makes the best running backs the best in the world. So when you look at what Trey Tolliver needs to do to get going tonight, getting going against this defensive front for Wheelersburg, Wheelersburg is much, much easier said than done. So what I think they need to do is get him going downfield to give yourself a chance. Now, for the pick itself, it's a tough ping for Barnesville to come down here, and at Ed Miller Stadium, it's already rocking. The crowd is in here. It is getting loud. It is getting active in this building. But I got to go with the Berg. Now I'm going to send it up to my my broadcast partner, Eric Landrum, who is in a very special spot right now. Eric, why don't you give the camera a little show for who you got tonight? He's throwing up the W. You're going to have to go watch the stream to check that out. Enjoy your high school football evening. If this is the last Football Friday kickoff, it's been a pleasure all year long serving all you guys in Southeast Ohio and bringing you all the best in high school football coverage. We'll have plenty more. Make sure to tune into our Facebook for more post-game throughout the game coverage, and we'll see you later on. Enjoy the football, everybody.
Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you all in the next one.